Hello, I'm Anthony David Hobbs, and this is my review of Battlestar Galactica Episode 16, War of the Gods, Part 2. So this is it, yes, my second favourite episode. But before I start the review properly, Muffet is in this episode. Doesn't do very much, he's just walking beside Boxy, yeah. But it's the last appearance of Muffet, the Daggett. Okay, not the best character, the robot dog, but he does save lives in some episodes, yes. And there was a toy franchise. How can you sell this toy if we don't see any more appearances of him? Yeah, so that's a bit dumb. But there we are, for better or for worse, the last appearance of Muffet the Daggett. Yeah. Okay, so this episode starts where the first one left off. Baltar has come to, they think he's come to surrender and go to prison, but no, that's not the reason he's here at all. No, he is here because he wants a truce, yeah, and he wants an alliance with the Galactica people. He's like, I need your help to fight off these orbs of light. I can't do it on my own. What about an alliance, And they decide to put him in prison. He goes, you can't put me in prison. This is a truce. You're not allowed to do that, but they won't listen to him, and they decide to put him in prison. And he gets down on his knees, or not willingly. No, Count Ibley makes him do that with his superpowers, yeah. Anyway, Count Ibley, is he a god or is he godlike? As Adama says, don't you think we would appear to be gods to primitive savages? Yeah. He's no more than a man, just far more advanced from a more advanced time, yeah. Anyway, then Baltar is in prison and he's alone, and Ibley talks to him alone. And we find out something about Count Ibley. He has hypnotic powers. He can make you say and do whatever he wants. However, there are rules. He can't control your mind if you don't accept him as your leader, and he can't control your mind if you know who he really is. Well, that explains why he's so reluctant for anyone to find out who he is, yeah, and he doesn't give straightforward answers, and he doesn't like being scanned, yeah. And Ibley says, really, do you know who I am? And Baltar says, yes, I recognise that voice. It's the voice of the Cylon Imperious leader. Now, oddly enough, I thought Count Ibley, although it's the same actor, it was going to be a different character. No, it is the voice of the Cylon Imperious leader. And Count Ibley says, Cylons are machines. And Baltar says, yes, they are now, but they used to be organic beings that were replaced by their technology. Robots took over, yeah. When did this happen? 1,000 years ago, yeah. And Ibley says, well, for the original Cylon Imperious leader to be replaced by a machine leader 1,000 years ago, that would have to make me over 1,000 years old, yeah. And Baltar realises that, yes, what a revelation. If what I'm saying is true, this is clearly a superhuman that lives for thousands of years, yeah. Anyway, after that, we see Muffet briefly with Boxy, who talks to Apollo. Anyway, Apollo doesn't want to fight in the triad game. That's where you throw a ball through a hole in the wall and the other team throws a ball in the opposite wall. He doesn't want to play, but Adama says you must play because sport is vital. It's essential for the morale of the people. Why do they need sport to boost their morale? The Cylons have been defeated, surrendered. Their mortal enemy is never going to bother them again. Isn't that enough to boost people's morale? I would have thought so. No, in addition to that, we need sport to give us all hope. Okay. So Apollo plays, but his team doesn't win. Instead, Boomer's team wins. Nothing wrong with that. Boomer's a popular player as well. But Ibley uses his superpowers to make him win. And it's a landslide. Yes, Boomer's team has got way more than Apollo and Starbuck's team. And nobody questions that. Nobody's suspicious, yeah. Then on the Rising Star, so the kind of luxury vessel, everyone's partying and having fun. But Starbuck and Apollo are a bit suspicious. No, we're used to being hunted, and being on our guard all the time. Why is everybody getting drunk? And Sheba says, you don't seem to get it, Just relax. We've won. It's happiness forever. The enemy's defeated, yeah. And but there's pilots. We need fighter pilots. They're essential. No, it's okay for them to get drunk too, because Ibley says so. Oh, and anything Ibley says makes it okay, yeah. The next day, we see the Galactica, and then those orbs of light are whizzing around the spaceship everywhere, yeah. And, Ibley says it's a red alert, we're under attack, go on, get all the pilots ready now, yeah. So they go up, but the orbs have gone, because they're fast enough. And Starbuck, Apollo and Boomer get in their Colonial Vipers, go out into outer space, try and find those things. They can't find them anywhere. Then Boomer sees the glowing space station and it sucks him in and he's disappeared, yeah. So they've lost yet another pilot. And then Starbuck and Apollo, they're like, let's get rid of him. Those orbs of light are following us because of him, Dump him back on the planet where we found him. And Adama says it's not as simple as that. He's become really popular. He gives the people everything they want, hope and food, and they're going to, elect him as the president. He'll have complete control over everything, yeah. But then Adama says he gives us all these wonderful things, but what is he looking for in return? Nothing comes free of cost. What does he want? Yeah. Anyway, then Starbuck and Apollo, they see the scientist who says it's possible the orbs of light a few days before made all the food multiply. So it wasn't Iblis that did it. No, Iblis didn't make the food multiply. The orbs of light did it. But Iblis takes full credit for doing that. Also, he promised he'd deliver the enemy, Boltar, but he didn't. Boltar was going to go to them under a sign of truce anyway because he was frightened of the orbs of light. It's just a nifty coincidence that he did it at more or less the same time when Iblis said he'd deliver the enemy. So in other words, those two miracles weren't done by Iblis, they were done by the orbs of light, but Iblis takes full credit for them. Anyway, Apollo sees his father Adama secretly, and it turns out Adama has telepathic powers, quite primitive compared to Iblis, but he can do it, and he says when he was a lot younger he used to bend knives and forks, for a bit of fun. Wait a minute, that's Uri Geller, We're talking about serious issues here, and they do a silly gag, a silly reference to Uri Geller, and that makes the show look a bit dated. It's obvious this was made in the late 70s, yeah. Anyway, then after that we get serious. Adama says, Iblis keeps saying those orbs of light are going to attack us, but they don't attack. They never have attacked. They're just watching us, or more specifically, they're watching Iblis. That's why he shows grave concern for them. And Apollo's like, what, do you think he's one of them? Or he used to be? Yes, but they're watching him to make sure he doesn't break any kind of rule. We're not going to get any answers out of him. The only way is to go to the planet where you found him. Okay, there's radiation there, so wear a radiation suit. Examine the wreckage of that ship and you'll find the secret to his identity. This could be the greatest mission of your life. So Apollo goes. Starbuck wants to go with him, and, Apollo's like, okay, fine, you come with me, but don't tell anyone. It's got to be top secret for this mission to succeed. And then Sheba follows them without permission, gets in a Viper and follows the shuttle they're going in. Okay, so the three of them can't keep away from each other. They always do missions together, yeah. Anyway, Iblis, I underestimated his powers. He can teleport to the planet in a matter of seconds. Oh, his powers are far greater than I thought, yeah. And, major spoiler coming up. If you haven't seen the episode, don't watch this review. No, see the episode first, then see this review, because there's a major spoiler coming up. Anyway, they get there. There is no radiation there. The radion level was a myth. They go inside and look inside the wreckage of the spaceship on the planet where they first found Iblis, and they see something that horrifies them, yeah. And we don't see it, the audience. It's obviously something horrible, yeah. But, another spoiler, if you like. They find out who Iblis is. He's the devil, the Prince of Darkness, Beelzebub, yeah. That was a major shock. Oh, but at the same time, it makes sense. That's why the Cylon Imperial was so evil, because he's the devil. That's why the Cylons are such ruthless conquerors and take over all these planets, because they've been influenced by the devil. That makes sense, yeah. Or is it the devil? Well, think about it for a while. Maybe the actual devil himself, or not the devil, but a being of great supernatural powers that appears demon-like, yeah. So, you interpret that how you see fit, yeah. Anyway, in the original, they were going to show devils inside the wrecked spaceships of cloven hoofs, yeah. And something else, Starbuck and Apollo both shoot lasers at Iblis, but his face changes to his real guise. He looks like the Imperious leader. At least I thought he did at first glance. But when I saw the episode again a few years later, I thought, that's not the Imperious leader. It roughly resembles him, but it is slightly different. Iblis' true face, it looks like a pig nose, a big round bulging head and horns, but not horns like that. They're like that instead. So, yes, there are many different interpretations of what the devil would look like, yeah, and he has this eerie blue glow around him, yeah. Anyway, he wants to hypnotise Sheba, come with me, and she's under his spell, yeah. He commands Apollo not to go inside that spaceship. Apollo says, you can't command anyone who doesn't come to you freely, yeah. And then, basically, with a mere wave of his hand, Iblis wants to kill Sheba, but Apollo gets in his way and he ends up dead. And Sheba is crestfallen. And then Iblis says, "Come with me, be my friend, be my servant." And Sheba says, "No, I will never follow you again. A line has been crossed. Oh, Apollo, what have I done?" So Sheba, the one that was most smitten with him, but she's out of his spell now, yes, because a line has been crossed. Someone she really loves dearly has been killed, yeah. Then after that, the orbs of light appear out of nowhere, and Iblis is frightened. He shows grave concern. And Starbuck works it out. He says, "Wait a minute, so you have power over life and death if someone accepts you as their leader. But if you kill someone that doesn't accept you as leader, you've broken one of their rules." And yes, Iblis teleports, get out of here, yeah. Then they take Apollo's dead body on the shuttle en route to the Galactica. Then they see the orbs of light, and they've had enough of advanced beings. Yes, Iblis was off-putting, to say the least. But they're sucked into the glowing space station. And then it gets very trippy and eerie, because Sheba and Starbuck, they think they're dead, because everything's glowing white. And they see the beings that live there, they're all glowing white as well. And they're like, "Is that it? We're dead and you're angels? Can you be dead and not know it?" And the angels, they say, "There's some truth in what you're saying. We're not angels, but we are super advanced." And the angels, well, they have veils over their faces. They look more or less human, but this glowing white light in glittering robes, yeah. Anyway, they find Apollo's dead body and they're very sad, naturally, like their best friend. And then the angels bring him back to life. But before they do, Sheba is willing to give her life if it will bring Apollo back to life. And the angels like, "That's a noble gesture, but unnecessary. We'll bring him back to life." So in other words, they bring Apollo back to life and they ask for nothing in return. They give them the coordinates to find planet Earth and they ask for nothing in return. So quite a contrast between them and Iblis. Iblis asked for much too much in return, yes. Anyway, then they get back on board the Galactica and it's all a bit hazy and mysterious. They can't remember it quite clearly. They remember Apollo being killed and then magically coming back to life, yeah. But they have the coordinates from Earth, yeah. And we, the audience, know the coordinates are correct because they say, we're heading, they give a series of navigation coordinates and then say, in a star system with 9 planets and 1 sun. Well, we know that's correct. That's where you'll find Earth, yeah. And, why do I like this episode so much? I suppose because I like the history, the backstory of the Cylon Empire. It explains how it started, how it got to be the way it was. We finally find out who the original Imperious leader was, after all those machine duplicates of him, yeah? And that's the past and the future, a bright future. They now have the coordinates to Earth. It's a long journey, but yeah, they know how to get there. And Sheba, a real character arc. She was most smitten with Iblis, but she sees a line that's been crossed, not smitten with anymore because he's evil. And she becomes a really good character in the story. And so in other words, just because someone has mystical, magical powers doesn't automatically make them good. Don't be so naive. Magical powers are controlled by evil as well as good, yeah. So yes, we learn a lot about the whole saga in general. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm Anthony Hobbs, and I'm never bored.